Barber.
Jodie Sweeten.
I feel like I haven't seen you. Life has been busy, and we banked some episodes, and now we're back.
Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've seen you. I feel like it's been years, even though it's only been a few weeks.
It's only been a few weeks, but years of things have happened, which I can't wait to hear about. Particularly one of our minisodes coming up, which is going to be the New Kids Cruise.
Oh yes, just wait. The New Kids Cruise. I've got a lot to say.
Yeah. Don't think. I know that our fans know that you were on the New Kids Cruise, so don't. I don't want them to think that we are not going to discuss it, because oh boy, are we? And by we, I mean oh boy, are you?
Yeah, just
and
sit
I
back,
can't wait.
Jodie. I'll take that one.
Yeah. So I'm sure there will be fan questions. Like we have a lot to delve into there.
Can't wait.
Yes. Hi.
Well, this is my favorite week of the year because daylight savings is over, and I'm like the only person that hates daylight savings.
I don't know that we can. I don't think we can be friends now.
Well, no, because you don't like having an extra hour. Like, I love having an extra hour. I wake up.
Seasonal depression. My sads is a mess. Let me tell you.
You're feeling your sads.
I am a sun person. Okay, I am like a little lizard in the sun. I need like a warm rock to lay on, and this dark at like 5:15 stuff. That I'm like, the day is over. I'm a mopey mess. And I want to go to bed by 5:30 p.m.
Yes,
that's not. But that feels bad.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And here's the thing. You're going to lose light anyways because it's winter. It doesn't matter if we set our clocks back or not.
Yes, it does.
We have a shorter...
It screws us by that much more.
That's how I feel in March. When we push the clocks forward, I am a wreck.
It is
I'm a wreck.
light, and we're alive, and it's spring, and it's amazing.
We're too opposite.
That's part of our charm. But I didn't know this about my work wife. That you preferred.
Oh, me? Sister wife. Am I your work wife?
You're my work wife.
Okay.
That you preferred the darkness.
Oh yeah.
And then that's the irony, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that I prefer darkness and you need the light to survive.
Right. It's
very ironic. It's very ironic. But I like having that extra light in the morning. I don't like waking up in the dark.
But
I can't wake up.
So sleep later. No one needs to be up at 6 a.m.
That's what time I wake
6 a.m. and the light was on and the dog is up and
I gotta get my teenager up. I have to. No, there's things to be done. I gotta get up at 6 a.m. and then it's so dark in the morning.
At that ungodly hour of the morning. 7 a.m. is plenty early enough for everything.
Yeah, get the coffee going. I got to do my morning reading and then yell at my teenager. It's very busy.
Well, yeah, I do that too, but I just start a little later. You know what I mean? Like, I just give myself a little extra sleep, so I'm really fully ready to go into combat for the coming day.
It is combat. So do you thrive at night? Are you like a night person more than a morning person?
I don't know what I am. It really, again, it depends on the time of year, because I would think I'm a night person, but I think I'm a night person as long as there's light a little bit later. Then I'm like, all right, cool, we're going. But this getting dark, like I said, at 5:30, like I'm just like, I give up.
You're like one of those batteries that can be charged by the sun, like the solar powered batteries.
I am solar powered.
You have to fill up with light before you can function.
That I always say, that I'm sure someone else said, and I've taken to repeating it, but is that basically humans are complicated houseplants, okay? We need water, we need sunlight, and we need someone to talk to us through while we're growing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And that's it. That's all. That's what we need. And some good, like, soil, a little bit of dirt.
Yeah. And change your soil like once a year. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes you need a bigger pot. If you're getting up there in age, you need a bigger pot.
And I'm just saying that this time of year, plants die, okay? This time of year, plants wither, and they're like, ugh. And that's what I do. That is exactly what I do.
Wow.
I don't know what to tell you.
We'll agree to disagree. We'll agree.
In March, I shall have my revenge.
Yes, I will be struggling in March.
I think aren't we staying with daylight savings time? Or
I thought so. I thought we voted on that.
Are.
But I think it's held up in Congress. Like, I think that's where all the bills go to die.
Story of everything right now. But so basically I just need I need to state that the people have spoken and it's better.
Well, I don't mind if we stay on standard time. It's the daylight save. I don't want to stop changing because it really does screw with all of our circadian rhythms.
Life is change.
I don't like it.
It's the only constant.
Nope. I want to just stay and have my morning light and
I'm glad that
go
we're
to bed
recording
by 6 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to not go to bed by 6 p.m., but it's okay.
I like being in bed early. Okay, we're really going off on a tangent. I like to be in bed by 8 p.m. I want to eat at 5, do my my skincare routine, get the kids all ready for bed, they're teenagers, so I don't need to get them ready for bed, but I want to be in bed by 8 p.m. so then I can relax and read my book and then slowly fall asleep.
I just want you to know this is what you have to look forward to in your 40s, because this is who you will become. All the young people listening, you're like, no, I never will. Let me tell you. Let me tell you some shit, okay? You will, and you'll hate it, and the 24-year-old in you will always be like, you are so boring, and you'll be like, I am, and I'm so happy. So I get it.
So happy. By the time you're 40, you appreciate boredom. These little wonderful things in life about going to bed early and drinking lots of water, sleep. Just love sleep.
Look, my little water. See, houseplant. Just need a little water.
You need a little water. Okay, there you go. Yeah. You need a little fertilizer.
I haven't been drinking enough water lately, and I can feel it like a dried up sponge.
Are you like are you like a turtle? An amphibian, shall we say?
No, I love that amphibian.
Well, no. I suppose we should get into today's episode, perhaps, or we could just keep talking about our oddities.
What? Oh, I got a list, so we'll get to that. That'll be a couple mini-sodes from now.
Okay.
But yes, let's get into the show officially.
Let's get into the show. Welcome back to How Rude at Tanneritos. I am Andrea Barber.
And I am Jodie Sweeten.
And today we are discussing Season 1, Episode 16, entitled But Seriously, Folks. And I think this title refers to Bob Hope. Isn't that something he said?
Yeah, but seriously, folks.
But seriously, folks.
That was that was the word. Dave just got very sad at my Bob Hope impression. Dave does an amazing Bob Hope impression, and that was a travesty.
Well,
and I'm sorry to both Mr. Hope and Dave Coulier.
Well, we'll leave the impressions to Dave.
Yes,
but the bar is low for you, so yeah, that's a Dave.
But seriously, folks, is what he used to say sort of during his act.
Love the reference.
Yep.
This episode originally aired on February 5th, 1988, and it goes a little something like this. Joey is humiliated at a comedy club when Phyllis Diller takes his slot and steals the show. Legend. As a result, Joey decides to end his comedic career. Dun, dun, dun.
That's
sad.
Big reactions. Big feelings.
Sad. It was directed by Joel Zwick. It was written by Jeff Franklin and Russell Marcus. And we have some fabulous guest stars, inclingme.
Yay!
I'm back, baby.
And are
back.
You?
I am so back.
Are you? Yes.
This is one of my favorite scenes. Okay.
This is one of my favorite scenes, too.
And it is?
Because of you. Yes.
Yes. Oh, good. Good.
It's so great. I remember. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there.
But I do also have a vivid memory of taping this scene. Okay, we also the legendary Phyllis Diller playing herself.
Oh my God!
Talk about what a get. How did we get Phyllis Diller on the show?
Right,
Jeff and his connections. He just knew everyone.
I mean, I'm sure Bob and Dave too through their comedy world connections and stuff. And and maybe in the 80s. Well, Phyllis Diller had she wasn't at the peak of her popularity anymore, so maybe I think it was but Phyllis Diller is a legend, a comedy legend, a genius. I look up to her so much. She's such a brilliant comedian.
Oh, she is. Yeah. She's. I'll just list some of her credits here. She's known obviously for the Phyllis Diller Show, and she's done a lot of voices for shows and films like Family Guy, A Bug's Life, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Meets World, and Bold and the Beautiful. I didn't know any of that.
Huh?
Fantastic.
That's amazing. And she has the best laugh ever.
Oh, it is so identifiable. Oh, man.
Yeah. I know nothing about that.
Also guest starring as Ed Alonzo and he was known for Saved by the Bell. He played Max, the owner of the Max, which is the diner that they would always go to.
Right.
And he did some other guest appearances on Murphy Brown, How I Met Your Mother, and Modern Family. He looked familiar to me. I recognized him.
Ed Alonzo was, both of the Ed Alonzo and Bruce Baum were, I think they both did comedy stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
Like at the Comedy and Magic Club, which Dave used to play at all the time.
And also, like you mentioned, Bruce Baum, he plays the MC. And fun fact, he appeared a total of 3 times in Full House.
Yes.
In this episode, in season 3, Misadventures in Babysitting. And season 5, he was in an episode called Yours, Mine, and Ours. And he played the pirate. So we're going to see him again. We're going to see him again coming up. He's a great, great character. Okay, so let's get into it. We open the show in Jesse's room where Jesse is teaching DJ how to play guitar. And Kimmy is on the keyboard.
Oh,
am I on the keyboard?
Ever? And I mean, we start with matching berets and full matching outfits.
Yes,
I'm done.
And the yellow socks, the berets are just fantastic. I felt so cool in that outfit, and to be matching with Candace.
Oh my God, you guys
were rocking it,
amazing.
I loved it. We were wearing bracelets because we're in this band called the Bracelets. It's very appropriate.
That's my everywhere you look. Mom.
Did I already?
It's okay.
We're a minute into this, and I've already given away.
No, but I'm not going to give you why. I'm not going to tell you why.
Oh, okay. Then we'll put a pin in that, and we'll get back to it. So me and DJ are matching fabulously, and Jessie is teaching DJ some chords. And she replies, "Well, if I only had one more finger." She strums the guitar, and it makes a terrible sound. Jessie replies, "That was very good. That's very close to music." And Kimmy replies sarcastically, "Not close enough." Like Kimmy is just
like,
woke
look,
up and
I
chose
am here.
violence.
I didn't. She really did. She's like, I did not come to play. I am ready on my keyboard, DJ. I don't know what you're waiting on. Like, let's go.
Like she's so hard on DJ, but
yeah.
I remember every single bit of filming the scene. Not just the outfits, but feeling insecure about playing the keyboard because I don't really know how to play the keyboard. I had to fake it. And fortunately, there was that little partition in front of the keyboard, like where the music goes, sheets, and so it could kind of hide my fingers.
Right.
Because you know that, like from playing guitar, it's horrible
I
to
don't
try to
play
pretend.
guitar because for the reasons that DJ said is that I need another finger and my hands hurt and it's no. And I had to learn how to play esque for later episodes for Steph when we also revisited another band moment.
Oh yeah.
Kimmy's just been like determined to start a band the whole time.
Yeah, this is pre-Girl Talk. This is the band before the band.
Yeah.
This was the Bracelets I guess couldn't get it together, so we had to make up Girl Talk later.
It was a shame because the way you sang Venus was also I loved that song. Who was it by?
Bananarama.
Is it Bananarama? Okay.
Yeah, baby, she's got it.
Yeah.
I loved that song. They had sent me home with like a cassette tape to learn the lyrics, which I mean, now they just email you a link or whatever, Right.
But
we didn't have that back in the day.
Here's a cassette.
Here's a cassette. Right. Put it in the car and listen to it on the way home. So that's how I learned the lyrics. And John was very helpful. Like he, this is music, so this was his thing. He was very helpful in coaching me through singing this song, and he was like, "You really got to hit love. And so he was so proud of me for saying, love.
I was so proud of you because that was the high level. I was like, yes, Kimmy was feeling herself. She was she really was. It brought great joy.
Which this was kind of my first lesson in, hey, you got to like sell it. Like you have to just go big or go home. Like you can't half-ass it if you're Kimmy Gibbler. Like even though I was embarrassed to be singing and pretending to play the keyboard and you're self-conscious when you're 10 years old.
Oh my God.
I was like, no, you got to put all those insecurities to the side and just sell it and sing it. And I did.
And man, did you, because I am buying what you're selling. I would have bought an album from Kimmy solo.
Just Kimmy solo,
Bracelets or not, just, Kimmy's solo career. I'm in.
I also remember, so Joel Zwick directed this episode. And I remember, I think this is the first episode he directed that I was in. And he terrified me. Like he was a screamer, or he's always been a screamer. And he wasn't yelling at me, but just yelling, just yelling at people in general just to pay attention and get it together.
Now, Right. And also Joel is not a man of large stature either.
No,
so
no.
he was just like, and what did Bob always say? He was like such an angry little man.
Yes, he's an angry little man.
Yeah, but he was. But not angry, just like that was just how Joel was.
Yes.
But yeah, he definitely was like you know what I mean?
He was
you were
a
like,
yeller.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this being my first interaction with him, I was terrified. I was just like, no, like I don't want to mess up. Don't mess up. Don't screw up. Like, just I don't want to be yelled at him. And later on, I was like, oh, it's just Joel. You know, that's
right? Which is it's so funny because he's such a sweetheart. Like he really is. He's such a part of the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just loud, and he just had a way he wanted things, and he was very vocal about it when they didn't happen.
Yes. Yep. Oh, I love Joel. He's the best. Okay, so Jesse cues up this song. I'm singing Venus by Bananarama.
Yep.
And DJ's trying to keep up, but she can't. So she finally butts in singing and uses the back of her guitar like a drum and smacking it with her hands.
That's exactly what you should do when all else fails.
Well, I was
turn it into a drum and keep going.
Well, and I was so concerned. I'm like, her bracelets were slapping on the back of the guitar, and it was scratching up the guitar. And I remember being distracted by that. I was like, oh, don't scratch the props. Don't scratch the guitar. Right. But, she had to sell that moment too.
Sign the props. Don't scratch the props.
It's early lessons we've learned or tried to learn.
Yes.
So Jesse and Kimmy are just staring at DJ, and DJ strums another bad chord right when Danny walks in, and Danny says, oh, that was beautiful. So at least she's got one fan of her terrible musical skills.
Right. Every parent is like, that was the best version of Hot Cross Buns on the recorder I've ever heard. And then they go clean up the blood from their ears.
I remember the recorder. I played the recorder in middle school. Isn't that is that still a requirement?
Sixth grade, you have to play the recorder.
Wow. See? That's in Hot Cross Buns. Wow. You just unlocked a core memory right there. So Danny announces that tonight is Joey's big night and it's time to go. Kimmy suggests that maybe DJ should stay home and practice. In fact, she may have to drop out of school. DJ tells her to lighten up. It's that type of attitude that broke up the Go-Go's. Okay. I don't know if that's really why the Go-Go's broke up. I thought it was more about drug addiction and
I feel like
creative differences, but I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea. I don't know much about the Go-Go's or why they broke up or when. And I'm sure at the time that joke was like, right? People
that joke
got
hit
it. And now we're
back
like, wait,
in 1988.
what? Right, yeah.
So we cut to the living room where Danny is helping Joey adjust his bolo tie, which he's wearing over another very colorful typical Joey shirt.
And that hot pink fuchsia jacket.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Right?
That
with
was
the
like
shirt with bananas and things on it.
Yeah.
And
it was
those
very
pants.
colorful.
Yeah.
The high-waisted pants. Yeah. Dave looked great. So Joey wants to try out this new bit. So he wants to try it on Danny. And so he says, hello, Wilbur. I'm going to visit all my friends in prison. Danny guesses Mr. Ed, and Joey corrects him. Nope, it's Mr. Ed Meese.
Don't get the reference.
I had to look this up too.
Okay,
I'm like,
I'm surprised I didn't look it up, but I think I was like, let's what the hell does that mean?
What reference is this?
And is it only one Ed Meese, thus making him Ed Mice?
No,
or is it okay.
Jodie.
Or Ed Mouse? Okay.
No, Ed Meese was Ronald Reagan's right-hand man and also the Attorney General during the Reagan administration.
Oh, God.
And he was involved in the scandal, the WedTech scandal, which was a scandal about how they gave out government contracts. I don't know. It's all very political and confusing.
It was, there's a lot going on.
Ed Meese ended up
on all kinds of things.
Yeah. And Ed Meese ended up resigning in 1988. So I feel like this was a very timely
right.
At the time, because it was probably in the news a lot. But
here
we are 36, 37 years later, and we're like, what? Who's Ed Meese? We don't know.
I mean, I'm sure, had I been paying more attention during the Reagan administration, I would have been like, oh, that guy. But
you were 5.
I was 5, so I wasn't, wasn't that interested politically yet. But
Nope. Same here.
Yeah. But it's funny to me because both the Mr. Ed joke and Mr. Ed Meese, today's audience, kids are probably like, what?
Yeah. I remember Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
I remember watching Mr. Ed. Right.
I have a feeling that Gen Zers probably are like, What?
Yeah.
Who's Ed? Ed who?
And a lot of these jokes, I feel like, this might be a controversial opinion, but I feel like even for an episode about comedy acts, the jokes are really bad. I feel like they needed a writer to come in and just punch up all the jokes, because like this Ed Meese joke, the Go-Go's, like a lot of these references, I'm like, no, they need to punch it up a little bit.
I mean, I don't want to. Have you seen most of the show? I mean, some of our jokes are a little, family sitcom of the 80s. I'm just saying, I'm not knocking that. It was exactly why it was a hit. I'm just saying, I feel like if elevated comedy is what you're looking for, you might want to look elsewhere. To keep going down the block.
Well, hey, I appreciate all the cheesiness about this show, but the Ed Meese joke really put me over the edge.
I think it's not 1988 anymore.
No, it's not. And so, these jokes didn't hold up. So, just an opinion, just my opinion.
Okay, no, I get it.
Okay.
We just got 17,000 letters of hate mail. No, I'm just kidding. from Ed Meese's prison
constituents,
apparently. Yeah.
Right. So Danny follows Joey around the living room, helping him put on his bright pink blazer. And Joey feels like tonight is going to be his night. There's a talent scout from HBO that's going to be at the comedy club, scouting for new talent for a big comedy special, which Danny points out that Joey has mentioned 1,000 times. And right now, Joey plays that canned laughter recorder. He holds up that machine again and plays his canned laughter.
Right? I mean,
hey, if no one else is going to laugh at him, you might as well bring your own laughter.
I mean, that's how 80s sitcoms were made, right? Yeah. If no one's laughing, bring your own. It'll be fine. BYOL.
Bring your own laughter. Yep.
Yeah.
So Jesse, DJ, and Michelle come downstairs carrying suitcases, bags, and an oversized stuffed. Yes, Mr. Pandy. Last time we saw Mr. Pandy was in the Return of Grandma episode, where you were struggling to carry him in and out of the house. Glad to see that Mr. Pandy is back.
Yeah.
And Jesse remarks that Michelle can either spend the night at Grandma's or 6 months in Europe. He's got a lot of self-awareness there for how much they've packed for this kid. So Joey tells Michelle to give him a kiss for good luck and holds out his cheek. Danny kisses him instead and then holds up Joey's canned laughter machine again.
That was actually that was a good use of the canned laughter moment.
It was.
I appreciated that.
That joke worked. Not all the jokes worked this episode, but that joke did work. So Jesse decides to be supportive of Joey for a moment and tells him he's going to be great tonight. Joey exits out the front door while exclaiming, "Tonight is going to be my night. Yes!"
That's never a sign for concern in a television show.
Right. When he's so certain that this is his night. That's definitely setting up the rest of the episode. So DJ comes downstairs telling everyone they need to go. She's dressed in all black. She looks very 80s, almost like a Madonna, Debbie Gibson inspired look with the black hat.
Very Debbie Gibson, the hat.
The hat and the curly hair swept off to the side.
Pony. Oh, yeah.
She looked cool. Like she was ready to go to a club. Like she looked great.
Yeah.
And Jesse says, well, wait, we can't go yet because his date hasn't showed up. And boy, is he nervous. And I got to admit, at first I was like, okay, what babe is going to walk in now? What bodacious blonde is going to walk in?
This one.
And in walks Stephanie.
Yeah. I remember that dress. The little beads and stuff on it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful white dress, cream-colored dress.
Cream-colored dress. The coat. Oh, I loved that coat.
Like a little faux fur
coat.
Yeah.
That was
Mary Jane slip-on shoes. They were so cute, patent shoes. Yep.
I was and tights because why not? Because you had to wear tights.
That elevates the look completely.
It really does. Yeah, because nothing like making your legs look a strange white color just really pulls off an outfit, especially when you're already wearing a white dress. But yeah, I remember being dressed up in that and feeling very done. You know what I mean?
You were so grown up. So grown up. Oh, yeah. You were ready to go to a comedy club.
With an orange in my purse because
this is such a funny, this is such a random, funny Stephanie thing. So yeah, DJ asks, why do you need a purse? And Stephanie replies, because I have woman things I need on a date. And she takes out money for a phone call. Okay.
Right.
Keys to somewhere. Useful. And then, of course, an orange. And DJ rolls her eyes. Like,
what if you might need a snack?
What if if your blood sugar gets low and your
blood sugar gets low? You don't want to be getting scurvy. You know what I mean? You got to keep up with your vitamin C intake. I mean, it's, just thinking ahead. Steph's trying to be healthy conscious.
Steph
she could have had
planner.
Cookies. She could have had cookies, but no, she brought fruit.
I am proud of Stephanie.
See?
Good for her for planning ahead and being healthy.
Right. And she's like, I'm probably going to get lost. I should bring some quarters for a phone call.
Yeah, because you needed quarters back in the day for the pay phones, which don't exist anymore.
Right?
Yep. So Jesse takes Stephanie's arm and leads her to the front door, making sure that he squats down to her height. And so this is so cute. They continue out the door while thanking each other. Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And Danny remarks, what a lovely couple. This is so cute. I love these bits between you and John. Like I can just see
Steph
this connection.
And Uncle Jesse had a really cute little bond.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that.
And that lasted for all 8 years and then into Fuller House too. You guys still, you were like, Stephanie was like the Jesse of Fuller House.
Yeah, Steph and Uncle Jesse that definitely had that little connection of, the music and the snark and all of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love that they were already, laying the groundwork this early. At age 5 or 6, they were already, setting the groundwork. So we cut later to the comedy club where a magician is finishing up a magic trick.
That poor duck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was like, where is the duck okay? So Ed Alonzo places a cover over a fire, and then when he lifts the cover up, it reveals the duck. Then he puts the duck into a magic box that looks like a microwave, but it's not a microwave. And suddenly a woman pops up. And everybody's impressed. They all clap, and Stephanie shouts, well, what happened to the duck? Like, of course, you're going to say
it was so funny because my first reaction when he, the fire, I'm like, oh, no, that duck. And then in my first line is, what happened to the duck? I'm like,
yes.
Oh, I really am Stephanie, and she is me. And our main concern was, is the duck okay?
Right. That was your only concern. Not even appreciating the comedy or the magic.
Where the hell did the duck come from? What happened? What did it burn its little webbed feet on the fire?
Oh, yeah.
Where did it go? When the woman came out, that duck was smushed into some compartment somewhere.
Yep.
The duck is not loving being a part of a magic show. Okay,
no. I'm surprised we didn't get a lot of letters from PETA or anybody else concerned about
it was the 80s.
Welfare of the duck.
The welfare of the duck wasn't a thing yet,
There's
there was a small fringe bit, but now it would have been like a CGI duck, or we would have just used the duck, the ceramic duck.
Ceramic duck, yeah.
And the ceramic duck would have been in the magic trick.
Why didn't they use the ceramic duck?
Much harder to fit into a small space in order to, squish into something, but possible. Now that's magic.
I love that duck.
I love that amphibian.
I love that. I love that bird. So Bruce, the MC, announces that next up after a short break will be Joey Gladstone. So Joey sits down with the family and says, don't look now, but the guy from HBO is sitting right behind you. And of course, the entire family turns around simultaneously to stare at him.
And it's the food critic from Ratatouille. No.
Wait, what?
No, just kidding. Oh. In Ratatouille, there's the food critic and everyone's all nervous. I don't know why. It reminded me of that moment.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, random.
That's okay.
We can cut that. That wasn't that funny. The payoff wasn't great for that. I thought it was funny, and then I had to explain it.
I'm amused. Party of one
that's,
here.
That's how you know a joke went over, is when someone goes, I'm amused. Yeah, that is how Joey's jokes go over in this scene. So yes. I'm killing it.
Okay, moving right along.
Danny, Phyllis Diller to interrupt when you need her.
She's coming. Danny tells Joey to break a leg, which confuses Stephanie. And Danny explains to her that it means good luck. And so Stephanie tells Joey to poke an eye out. I'm going to tell you that from now on.
I think we need to bring that back. I think poking an eye out.
Every time you go on stage, I'm going to be like, Jodie, poke an eye out.
Poke an eye out. And then I will.
You probably will.
Speaking of things that make me want to poke my eyes out, though, can we reference the clowns that are in the background of this scene?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was going to be my everywhere you look because they are everywhere you look, though. They're so scary. Like they're not even cute clowns. They're just terrifying.
Are there such a thing?
Well, no. I think all clowns are creepy.
They're a little creepy.
They're a little creepy.
But these ones were extra
creepy. Yeah. And just hovering. And,
God, it was just, why?
I don't know.
Why do that?
I don't know.
Why do that to why? I would have known we were at a magic club when the duck disappeared. I didn't need there to be clowns.
True. Yeah. No, yeah,
and
maybe.
Actually, I'm just remembering now, when Joey exits the scene, when he exits the living room scene, there's a clown in his duffel bag. Because how else would we know he's going to a comedy club?
No, I didn't notice that. Wow. So the set dresser was probably like, okay, clowns. Clowns show that we are at a comedy club. So let's just throw some clowns into this scene. It was distracting. I found it distracting.
I found it the beginning of a nightmare.
Yeah. This is how it all starts.
This is how the entire cast of Full House gets sucked into a horror movie. So they go and the things come to life. The magic clown from Joey's bag comes to life and takes out the entire Tanner family. Right?
I'm not going to sleep for you tonight. Jeez. This scene is getting worse by the minute. So Joey gets ready. But wait. Yeah,
then it gets better.
The best is yet to come. Joey gets ready to go on stage, and right as Bruce starts to introduce him, we hear a very distinctive laugh coming from the audience. And Bruce says, "I know that laugh. It's not mine. Diller. No, it's not yours. Your laugh could rival Phyllis Diller's."
Maybe that's where I got it. Maybe I was like, this lady's got a good laugh.
Yeah, you were like,
I'm gonna take that in.
I'm going to take that laugh. Yeah. So Phyllis Diller just looks fabulous. Oh, she's so great.
I love her. And I didn't, and I didn't know that I loved her then.
Right.
Because I was a kid. But like I read up so much about like the sort of comedy history and like the women of stand-up comedy and how they had to fight tooth and nail to get. And Phyllis Diller was one that really, she was a real pioneer in women in comedy, but in comedy, stand-up comedy for women. So I just big hats off to her, and it's so amazing that like, what a legend.
What a legend. And yeah, we had no appreciation for it back then, but now we can totally appreciate what she did for women in comedy.
The divorce jokes at the time, not so funny. Now, I totally get it. I'm like, that's where I got my material.
That's where you got it from. So Phyllis Diller gets up and takes a bow. She makes a joke about how she's had so many things lifted. She just rises automatically. And the audience is going nuts.
So great.
They love it. Bruce begs Phyllis to come on stage to tell a few jokes, and the audience cheers. Joey is upset because this was supposed to be his night.
Joey's upset.
Phyllis Diller takes the stage and starts doing her bit about her wedding to Fang, who I had to look this up too. Was her imaginary husband who she frequently mentions in her comedy acts.
Right.
Fang. Okay. Oh, you knew this. Okay.
Yeah.
The audience is going crazy. They love it. And Joey looks so dejected in the corner. He's leaning on a piano next to that weird clown. And he just looks
Could he
so
pick
sad.
not a better corner so we didn't have that in the background?
It's so depressing. We pause for a commercial break, and we come back to still in the comedy club where Phyllis Diller is still doing her stand-up. She can't believe that she's been up there for an hour, and Joey clarifies, no, it's been an hour and a half. He's very bitter.
That's a hell of a set, that's impressive. That is an HBO special. That's a long HBO special, and good thing the guy was there in the audience.
Yeah, she just does this off the cuff and, without planning or preparation. She just gets up there and delivers a 90-minute set. Very impressive. Very impressive. So Phyllis Diller finally leaves the stage to enormous applause, and several patrons also get up and leave the club after her. Bruce tries to get them to stay, but he gives up and ends up pulling a monster mask out of a box of oat boats. Did you see the oat boats? Why is he...
Oh, wait. Well, I wrote down oat boats. And then the joke happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't... Was it...
It was cringy.
Well, yes. but it was Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Oh.
That was what that monster was.
Okay.
And I mean, Ghostbusters was...
It was big.
Around the same time?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 85, 86, 86, something like that? I could be wrong. But I feel like that was something, but it was neither a good magic trick nor a funny joke.
No,
and
no.
I also would have left the club if, because it's after Phyllis Diller, it's obviously not getting any better. So I'm going to go.
No, Bruce just needs to stick to emceeing. He should not be doing comedy or magic.
Is it just me, or does he remind you of David Crosby?
Oh,
from Crosby, Stills and Nash. I'd always be like, oh, hey, that's not that.
It's Bruce.
Yeah. It was the mustache and the hair. And
the things. I see the resemblance though.
Maybe David Crosby is Bruce Baum.
Oh,
weird.
More fanfic.
That's yeah. This is just me bored.
Okay. So Joey finally hops up on stage to the mediocre applause from the handful of patrons left. What a terrible feeling.
Who wants to follow Phyllis Diller? No. It's like getting up on stage after, after Seinfeld. You're like, I'm just going to go home. I'm done.
It's so painful.
No thanks.
I really felt for Joey in this moment.
Yeah.
Joey starts doing his stand-up routine, and several more patrons get up and walk out. Ouch.
Oh, it's never good.
The jokes just aren't funny, and you can practically smell Joey's desperation to make people laugh. Ooh. It is so awkward.
Yeah. Awkward.
I know you're doing comedy. Have you ever had a moment like this where you're just bombing on stage and you have to keep going and hoping people don't leave, or I imagine your sets are well attended, but have you had that fear?
Well, first of all, I love that you give me enough credit that I somehow am an expert in this field, or that I know things. But I've the handful of times I've gotten up to do like an original set, it's usually been pretty quick. I haven't bombed yet, but I will say that's kind of par for the course. But I definitely have had moments where I'm like doing my family dinner show, which is the live comedy show that I do, where I will have a moment where I'm like, oh no, like either the train is going off the track, which is usually the case, or I'm like, I rushed through something, or I did, like, you kind of get in your head, and you know how that is. Once you get in your head, like, it's all over. But no, I have not. I have not yet bombed like Joey, but I feel like I also would be like, and I'm done. I don't want to do that. Like, it would be kind of Joey. Yeah, it's a pretty soul shattering when you go up to be funny and people are like, don't do that.
Terrible feeling. Well, I'll make sure I need to come to one of your comedy sets, and I will make sure to heckle you and try to throw you off as much as possible.
We have one coming up in a couple weeks, so it's our Thanksgiving one.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, send me deets. Send me deets.
I will. Anyway.
Okay, so the next day, the family comes into Joey's room. They're looking for him because they're worried that he didn't come home last night. Joey walks out of the bathroom, and he's dressed in a sharp gray 3-piece suit with his hair slicked back.
Looking fabulous, by the way.
Great.
I was like, okay, see Joey's new look. Like,
I love it.
Minus now, Dave got a haircut around this time, right?
Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, he must have gotten a haircut. Or is it just slicked back?
It was maybe it was just slicked back. I thought it actually was cut.
Okay.
But regardless, Dave looked, I mean, he was ready for set with the Michael Douglas movie Wall Street or whatever.
Yeah. Straight out of Wall Street.
Which is exactly what he was going for, because that's just, obviously you can jump right into being a stockbroker.
Straight from the stage to a stockbroker.
Right.
Why not? Of course.
The incredibly transferable skills. Yeah.
We also have a producer note here from our producer Danielle Fishel, who says,
"Oh no,
I don't think she'll mind. Okay, if she minds that I'm saying this, we'll have to cut it. But
she's not.
I don't think she's gonna mind." So Danielle says that Joe, as a businessman, is hotter than John Stamos.
I would second that. Wow. In a not weird way, but I definitely,
That is a bold
statement. And it's also
statement.
like something about a well-fitted 3-piece suit, man. It's and also I'm not the long hair. Maybe was the thing.
The mullet.
Once he cut his hair, it's the mullet.
The mullet turned me off. Yeah.
I think it's an aversion to mullets.
Yeah. I have the same aversion to mullets as well.
Well, we lived through the 80s. It's a trigger, you know.
It's a trigger.
But yeah, no, I will second Danielle on that.
Okay.
I think Joe, the stockbroker, would rival Uncle Jay on a yeah.
Wow, I wonder how John Stamos
which feels
would
weird
feel
to
about
even say. I'm like,
I know.
I don't even,
I
this
feel-
is weird.
I feel awkward
guess
with
it's
this
like
whole
when you're-
conversation because they're like our older brothers or uncles or that like they're just there's been zero attraction.
But you can look when someone looks good, you can be like, yeah, you look great.
That's true, and I can appreciate that Joey looks. He's cleaned up very nicely. I can acknowledge
really
that.
well,
Absolutely,
really well.
So the family is stunned. Jesse touches Joey's hair and remarks he's been moosing. And Joey asks to be called Joe from here on out.
Okay.
So Joe explains that he had a revelation last night. That big break isn't coming. So he's going to venture into the business world. I'm going to get a real job and make some real money, he explains. DJ is upset and asks, what about your comedy? DJ's upset. Joey explains that there comes a point in your life where you just have to say to yourself, I tried and I failed. DJ absorbs this advice.
Yeah.
It
is true sometimes, though. Sometimes you got to go, that was not for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm torn on this advice because I think at some point you got to cut your losses and move on. But at the same time, don't give up on your dream. I'm torn.
Yeah, I'd like to think that, too. I am a little bit of both.
Okay. Depends on the situation, I guess.
That's true. If you're doing stand-up comedy and you can't eat anymore, it might be time to think about getting a day job. Yeah. I don't think you have to do one or the other. I think you can do both.
That's true.
I would say do both.
Okay. That's the lesson.
Yeah. Like Joey could be a stockbroker who also does stand-up comedy at night.
Yeah. Why do you have to choose? You don't have to choose.
You don't have to choose. No? Don't let anyone make you choose.
Aww.
Do it all.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yep. Well, thank you for joining us today.
No, that's terrible advice because then you're going to get confused and overwhelmed.
Well, Joey says he's just glad he found this out now and not when he's 46 years old. He says, I'm quitting comedy.
Which is not old, by the way.
It's not old. That's younger than I am. That is not old at all. So he exclaims, I am quitting comedy. And then he covers up his poster of Charlie Chaplin with a poster of Lee Iacocca.
Who I'm sure also with the Ed Meese of it all.
Like, just, what are these references?
This episode really has some dated references.
It's niche,
but,
yeah.
Lee Iacocca was obviously a famous businessman in the 80s. I think Ford.
Yeah, he created the Mustang. The Mustang and the minivan, I believe.
Right. Yeah, he very big in like sort of revolution, and he was seen as like a very Mr. Businessman.
Yes, he was like the standard. You would always compare everyone to Lee Iacocca. He was the standard in the automobile industry.
The name is fun to say.
It is.
I just want to call him like Lee Iacocca.
Lee Iacocca.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Lee Iacocca.
It just rolls off the tongue.
It really does. I like saying it, Lee Iacocca. It sounds.
I'm just going to call you in the middle of the night and be like, Lee Iacocca.
Oh no! You know what? The Mustang and the Ford Pinto. So you win some and you lose some.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like the Pinto did not
do
well.
Yeah, that
wasn't that the one that kept blowing up because where they placed the when it got into rear accidents that it would explode because of the placement of the gas tank.
Oh, the Pinto.
It was more
Pinto.
prone. Yeah.
That's not good.
And then there was the Nova.
What's the Nova?
Yeah. The Nova was a Chevy Nova, but it didn't do well in Spanish-speaking countries because Nova means no-go.
Oh, really?
So to name a car, this is the Chevy.
Whoops.
No-go. Yeah.
Somebody botched that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it wasn't Lee Iacocca. I'll bet you that. He did not. Yeah. He would have known.
No, he would have known. But
also,
I love it.
Where did he get a poster of Lee Iacocca?
I don't know. Do they sell these in gift stores? Like, I don't know where he got this poster.
Right? Was it like the like Reaganomics Supermart or whatever? Of like the 80s? It just came with a Michael P. Keaton. It was a 2-for-1.
Maybe just it's part of your oat boat box. Just pull. It's your prize from your oat boat cereal.
Yes, exactly.
Pull out a poster of Lee Iacocca. Now that would be great. Great merch, like selling boxes of oat boats with Lee Iacocca posters inside.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I would be lining up for it. What
Sorry,
that's some great.
I've had too much time off. I'm really slap happy.
And we'll be right back.
Okay, so we cut to later on in the living room. Danny, Jesse, and Michelle walk in the front door after touring every daycare center in the Northern Bay area. Because once Joey finds a job, they're going to lose a babysitter. Danny starts reviewing the pamphlets they brought home, and he says, oh, I like this one. Piggly Wiggly's Fitness and Daycare Center, specializing in toddler aerobics.
Why would you name a fitness center Piggly Wiggly's?
I don't know.
I mean, first of all, it's the name of a grocery store or
right.
like a small food, but Piggly Wiggly's Fitness and Daycare Center.
It's oddly specific. Like, do toddlers need to work out? Like, I don't think they need specialized fitness.
Maybe we didn't know.
I don't know.
Maybe everything could have been different. But yeah, it was. But they specialize in toddler aerobics.
Love it. And there's a free headband or a sweatband that Jesse immediately puts on Michelle.
Were everywhere in the 80s. Everyone needed a sweatband. Were people sweating a lot? Was it like...
I don't know. And I've worn those sweatbands before in like marathons, and like it hurts. Like after 20 minutes, you start to get a headache. So they're not really useful.
I have a small peanut head, so I could probably wear a rubber band and be okay. But
well, I was worried about the baby. Yeah. I was like, oh, don't hurt the baby's head.
She also, we have the same size head, the same circumference head. I have a toddler's head. So
basically. Michelle was fine, right? Okay.
She was fine. Yeah, exactly. But that was the funniest bit.
Oh, this is all leading up to this incredible moment. Like, this is just one of the most hilarious scenes in the entire run of the show. Danny and Jesse start aerobicizing to this music. They're lifting their arms.
Like the lankiest spider of a man. Like sometimes he would just look so like gangly when he do like, and it was gangly. Yeah, it was yeah. Like, and I mean that with love, but like he would say like he was so tall and had like long limbs, and it just looked so ridiculous.
It's like he hadn't grown into his limbs yet, and he was just
I don't think he ever did.
About.
Yeah, just all over the place.
It's so funny. They're so enthusiastic, and they're trying to coax Michelle into copying them. And Michelle's she's not having it. She just looks them up and down.
It was the best. She fully was like.
She looked them up and down.
Like, just like, you have lost your mind. It was amazing.
And again, you can't script this stuff. Like, it's either like the baby does it or she doesn't. And she did it. It was
and you never know. Funny. It was so great. And then, he said, obviously, you're secure with those chubby little legs of yours. And she was like,
it's so cute. She's nodding. Oh, it's so
my God.
Cute. I love that bit. Love that bit. And the audience is just rolling. They're rolling. Yes. They love it so much. So Joey then walks in the door. He's still in his suit and tie. And he announces that he got 2 more job offers, a bank teller and a stockbroker trainee. But he makes excuses for why he's turning down both jobs. One is located on a steep hill, and the other one served instant coffee. Deal breakers.
I mean, I get it. Have you ever walked up some of those steep hills in San Francisco? You had to do that every day? I'd be like, I'm going to find a bottom of the hill one.
That's kind of a good point. I didn't think, you're right. This is in San Francisco.
So very steep.
Joey's got a legitimate complaint here.
He would have had a great butt by the end of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's, pluses and minuses.
Pluses and minuses. Well, he's
instant coffee? Yeah, no. Yeah. For a stockbroker? No. Real coffee.
They need the real stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
No Sanka or whatever it is that did stir in coffee. Yeah, no.
So Jesse reveals that Joey has received 8 job offers, and he's managed to find something wrong with all 8 of them.
I know people like that.
Joey claims that he doesn't want to rush into anything like he did with comedy. So Stephanie arrives home from school, and she greets Joey with a, "Hello, Joe."
Hello, Joe.
And she asks if Joey wants to watch cartoons. And Joey responds, nope, he's going to read the Wall Street Journal instead. And he leaves.
Boring.
Steph is so sad. She's like, oh, I miss the old Joey. And Danny agrees. Danny thinks that Joey isn't really happy about giving up comedy, which is why he keeps turning down jobs. So later in Jesse's room, we find Jesse giving another guitar lesson to DJ. She is still struggling to get these chords right. Frustrated, DJ hands the guitar back to Jesse and proclaims that she stinks, and this is just too hard.
It's all too hard, but I have to say the matching socks and sweatshirt in this were an 80s moment.
She looked great, yeah.
80s moment.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
That made up for all of the bad guitar playing. Is that she looks fantastic.
Yeah. And a banana clip, too? Come on.
Oh, yeah, the banana clip.
Peak 80s. Yeah.
It's peak 80s. I love it. I miss banana clips.
Not to be confused with a banana hammock.
Correct. Thank you for clarifying, Jodie. We don't want to. Wow.
2 very different things.
Very different purposes, yes.
Yeah, like the ones in your kitchen that hold the bananas in the little hammock. Come on.
Sure.
Andrea,
Okay, sure.
Can't believe you.
Moving on. So Jesse then tells the story of a little boy who was so inspired by Elvis's music that he traded in his bike for a guitar at a pawn shop and practiced day and night and day, until one day the music just surged through his body and fingertips, and suddenly he could play this. And Jesse strums an impressive bit on the guitar. He reveals that he was the little boy in this story. And DJ replies sarcastically, "Big surprise there." It's like we all knew, Jesse, that we were talking about yourself.
The moment he started with Elvis, we were like, yes.
Yes. So then DJ says, "I think I'll take this guitar down to the pawn shop and get myself a new bike."
She's thinking.
Yeah, she's resourceful.
Hey.
She's resourceful. She announces she will never be a bracelet because she quits. She says, "I tried and I failed. I want to figure this out before I turn 46, she says, clearly quoting Joey. Way to go, Joey. You've rubbed off on this child. So Jesse shouts for Danny and says they need to come up with an idea to get Joey back into comedy. Danny says he likes this attitude. And we cut to the comedy club. We're back in the comedy club.
Oh, back with the clowns.
Back with the clowns. There's no Phyllis Diller this time.
Right.
The three guys are sitting at a table. It is amateur night. And Jesse has led Joey to believe that they're all down there to watch Jesse try out some new tunes on his guitar. Bruce, the MC, introduces Jesse, and Jesse takes the stage. Jesse announces, wait, there's been a change in plans, and he's actually going to start his career as a stand-up comedian and tell some jokes tonight. And Joey's like, are you kidding me? Jesse pulls out a piece of paper for reference and starts badly retelling Joey's Mr. Ed Meese joke from earlier, but he totally botches the punchline and says Ed Moose, which is, that's not it.
I mean, you can't confuse Meese and Moose.
Right.
Because it's mice.
It's Ed Mice.
Right.
Mouse
plural. Gets you every time.
Joey is incredulous. Not only is Jesse stealing his jokes, but he's butchering them.
Which is the worst. Oh. Like, as a comedian, to have your joke stolen and then just murdered like that?
Yeah.
Just terrible.
That's painful.
But funny enough, John has such a connection to stand-up. Not only, obviously with Bob and Dave, but he was really good friends with Don Rickles.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Mr. Warmth, Mr. Personality. I forget what they...
I don't remember.
I think it was Mr. Warmth, who was notorious for just ripping into people with his jokes. It was so funny.
Oh.
So funny.
Love it.
I actually have a funny John story with Don Rickles and Lil Wayne.
Wait, you do?
Okay, yeah, this is a random side tangent.
Please
I'm
share.
sorry, but...
That's okay.
When I was working in treatment, in drug and alcohol treatment, John was doing his show Grandfathered with Josh Peck.
Mm-hmm.
And they were shooting at a location that was right next to the building that I worked at. Okay. And randomly someone was like, hey, John Stamos is shooting a show down there. I was like, no shit. So I walked over there and was like, hey, like just an obnoxious person.
You're like, hi, Uncle Jesse.
But Bob was there. John was there. Don Rickles, Lil Wayne and somebody, like, it was the most, and it was some scene, and Don Rickles, I just sat over there for a little while, and Don Rickles was making the most hilarious, inappropriate jokes. It was so funny, and it was like such a fun thing. Like I said, I'd kind of moved on from entertainment, and to like be back in that little scenario with them was just such a wonderful moment. But yeah, I remember seeing them live in action. It was hilarious. Don Rickles was a genius. Yeah.
And how fortuitous too that it just happened to be.
It was so
right next door.
Super random. Yeah. Yeah.
How fun.
Anyway, that's a random side note.
Love it.
Talking about John and stand-up and Don Rickles.
Yeah, no, I didn't put two and two together until you just said that John does have a history with stand-up comedians. Yeah. Yeah. Not just Bob and Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jesse continues to screw up Joey's material. He's mispronouncing everything. He's truly terrible. And as Joey says, this
punchline before the joke. It was all bad. Just all bad.
He can't do anything right. And Joey says, this is comedy murder. And John is really actually very funny doing terrible comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
So Joey stands up to yell the correct punchline at Jesse. And Jesse yells back, oh, you think you can do better? Joey accepts this challenge and takes the microphone. I've seen that
happen at terrible open mic nights. No, where the comedian's like, "Oh, you want to do better?" and then someone's like, "Yes," and then it's just all bad.
Oh, yeah. You could watch those hecklers. Those hecklers. You never know.
You never know.
Got to be careful. So Joey then realizes that this was Jesse's plan all along to get him back up on stage. Mm-hmm. Joey takes the stage. He starts his stand-up act. He is crushing it, and the audience is loving it. I'm feeling much better about Jesse finally getting his moment. Finally. This is his night.
Joey. You mean Joey?
Did I say Jesse?
You did.
I meant Joey.
Okay.
Joe. You're correct.
Joe.
It's not even Joey. It's Joey. That's right.
Joe. Well, no, this is Joey. Joe was the handsome man in the three-piece suit. But
you're right.
Where are the kids in all this? The guys are out at the comedy club. Who's watching the kids?
Yeah, who's watching the girls? That's a good point.
Grandma?
Maybe Grandma. I was going to say Grandma Stamos. Grandma Cochran, because she's the one that lives the closest, right?
Right.
So yeah, let's go with that.
Is it? No.
Well, Danny's mom lives.
Does she live the closest?
In northern.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah,
Northern California. Or no, she lives in Seattle, Tacoma. Okay. I don't know where Joey's mom. We never see Joey's mom again after the
that's true.
Return of Grandma episode. So I'm gonna guess it's Grandma Cochran.
Who they were? Yeah. Okay.
But you're right. They should have had a throwaway line in there about like, oh yeah, my mom's watching the kids tonight or something. But,
well, I mean, they leave Michelle in rooms all by herself all the time.
So I'm sure it's fine. With the lights on.
They'll manage. Yeah, they'll manage.
Kids are fine. DJ does most of the parenting.
Do you know
anyways.
where your kids are? Yeah, exactly.
So next we fade into the kitchen where the three guys are drinking coffee. It's later that night. They reminisce about how the stage is where Joey belongs, making strangers laugh. Joey admits that he was just tired of waiting for his big break and the paycheck that goes along with it. But Joey says he's going to look for a job he can do at home so he can watch the girls during the day and do his comedy at night.
The original work from home.
Just like you were saying, he can still do both.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to make a choice. Joey starts to leave when Jesse says, not so fast, and he stops him. Jesse explains how DJ quit the guitar and how Joey may have inadvertently inspired her to quit. Uh-oh. Joey exits to go fix this situation. So next we're in the girls' room. Joey knocks and walks in to find DJ watching TV under the covers. She's watching her little red portable TV, and she's watching David Letterman. That TV was
so much harder to sneak than like scrolling through, TikTok on your phone. You had to put a whole TV under your bed. You had to get an extension cord,
right?
For antennas. I mean, you're not getting great reception under a blanket. So yeah, it was a lot more challenging.
DJ's very resourceful, and for David Letterman too. She's up late, she's dedicated to watching. She must have been a night owl, kind of like you.
Yeah, it's true.
Thriving at night. So Joey sits down with DJ and tells her about his night, how he got back up on stage to do his act, and how he was great. DJ says, but I thought you quit. And Joey replies, well, he did, but he was really just frustrated and looking for the easy way out. DJ's on to him. She figures out that Jesse told him that she quit the guitar. She says that she didn't just quit the guitar because of him. She quit because she stinks. Joey encourages her to keep practicing. It's only been a week and she should keep trying. But if she quits now, she'll never know how good she could be. At this moment, Stephanie pops up out of bed to say that Joey is right. Whoops. Stephanie claims, I was just talking in my sleep. And she pretends to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Joey says the DJ I know wouldn't give up just because it's the easy way out. He kisses her on the head and says good night. Stephanie says good night, Joe.
Good night, Joe.
Good night, Joe. And Joey says, call me Joey. And then he does a Rocky and Bullwinkle impression. Aww. DJ grabs her guitar and she starts strumming some more bad chords. Stephanie covers her ears with a pillow while saying, very nice, DJ. Very nice.
Trying to be the supportive sister. Yeah.
Yes. And that's our show.
And that's the show.
That's our show, which is it's a good lesson, It's a good lesson about never give up. Don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah. Don't start comedy.
Or don't start. No, and definitely don't put clowns. Don't put clowns in the background.
Don't put clowns in the background of scenes. What about, I have a friend who can't even look at circus liquor when she drives by, like the clown on the yeah. So what about those people? Are they,
Yeah. It would be a deterrent for a lot of people.
Definitely a deterrent.
Yeah.
Definitely a deterrent. And, that's even disappearing ducks and all.
Yep.
Like, but there's clowns.
But
yeah, I love this message. It was so great. Don't give up. And, just one more example of how also the guys in the house have an ever-changing sort of catalog of jobs that they do.
Yes.
And I feel like Joey starts looking for stuff at home and also very ahead of his times.
True.
Work from home.
Right? Yeah. He was decades before his time. Now everybody's working from home.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked this message. I thought it was really cute. And I thought it was cute too how you see how, DJ is really looking to the guys for help and for, guidance and okay, well, this isn't working. I'm not going to do this, and hey, she moved on to the drums is what she did.
She moved on to the
very
drums.
Very telling from that first moment. She was like, forget it, I'm a drummer, which then tracks in Girl Talk.
It does. That comes back 36 years later in Fuller House, where she's taken over for drums.
I still think Girl Talk should have done a cover of Venus, but
I know. Well,
there's still time.
There's time. Fullest House. We'll make it happen.
Oh yay! And you'll still be faking guitar or faking keyboard, and I'll be faking guitar. Yes. It'll be great.
Well, I know we already touched a little bit on our Everywhere You Look moments, but I want to go back. Did you have more to say about your Everywhere You Look?
I did. Okay, so my Everywhere You Look moment, and it ties into the name of your band, the Bracelets.
Yes.
I believe Candace in the scene, and maybe you, I didn't notice, but maybe not because of the keyboard, but she was wearing a bracelet made out of safety pins and beads.
Oh.
And do you remember the safety pin and beads bracelets that we used to make as arts and crafts with Andrea?
In the classroom, yes.
In the classroom. And they were very big in the you would take safety pins and put beads on them and then put them top to bottom to top to bottom, and you'd create a whole pattern and then you'd string them together and make a little stretchy bracelet. And I believe DJ is wearing a safety pin bracelet that we made. And the band is named the Bracelets.
The Bracelets. So. I love that.
And I don't know which came
making
first,
those.
The bracelet creation or the band name Bracelets. I don't know if one had to do with the other, but that's the Everywhere You Look.
That's so great. You're right. This was before the friendship bracelet, loom, rubber band, Taylor Swift thing that's really popular now.
Yeah, before the rubber band ones. And it was, they were the string ones.
I remember the string ones.
I was never very good at those. It was too much small little.
It's intricate.
It took too long. I got bored. But the safety pin ones were just enough for my little ADD brain.
Aww.
And I think we used to love making those, and we would make them all the time.
Love it. Oh, I'm going to go back and look because I noticed we were wearing bracelets, but I didn't look that closely. So I want to see the safety pin bracelets. Oh, yep. Great one. There's a great Everywhere You Look moment. Very good.
Did you have one?
Well, mine were the clowns, and so
okay.
I think we've visited that. We don't need to spend any more time on the clowns.
But God, were they everywhere you look?
They were everywhere you look.
Yeah, really.
No more clowns. Yep. No. Note to anyone out there developing a show: don't put clowns in any scenes,
unless it's American Horror Story, in which case they're creepy, and it was great.
Oh, yeah. Okay. True. Very true.
Well,
all right,
my friend. We've come to the end of another episode.
We have. This was a good one.
We have a very great episode. I love this. The classic Phyllis Diller. Still amazed that she was on the show.
Yep.
And if you guys want to follow us, make sure that you follow our Instagram, which is at How Rude Podcast, or you can send us an email, howrudepodcast@gmail.com. Send us in what you like, what you're loving, what you're finding about episodes, anything that maybe we haven't mentioned, anything you want to hear us mention, mini-sode ideas, all that fun stuff. Yeah, please send us a note, send us a message. Tie it to a duck and make it disappear. I don't know. But we love that you guys are listening and enjoying the show. We really, really appreciate it. So remember, the house is full, but the world is small.
Close.
I think I got it backwards.
Close enough.
The house
that's
is
okay.
The world is small and the house is full.
Yes. All right.
Yeah!
That's the closest one yet. Yes.
There we go. See? Look
By
at me
episode 192, you will have this down pat.
I love that you think that.
Oh, Jodie Sweeten.
I could just write it down, but then that kills the fun.
Yeah, that's true. No, I much prefer this method where it's always I'm always wondering, is she going to get it right?
And I am too, because I'm always like, this is right. This is no, it's not.
No, anyway. Right. It's like you can see the words coming out of your mouth, and you're like, no, retract them, put them back in, put them back in.
Yeah, well, I've never been one to do that. So, all right. Make sure you join us for our mini-sodes. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Go ahead and rate it. It helps us, move up on the podcast lists. And that way we can keep entertaining you with our ridiculous stories over and over and over again. Woo-hoo. So we'll see you next time on How Rude, Tanneritos.
Bye-bye. Bye.